Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. How are you, sir?
I'm great.
Peachy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Things good.
She told me I couldn't use peachy anymore, so I've been using pineapple. How you doing? I'm just pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, just as good as peachy, I guess.
Well, pineapple's, well,
A little more
little prickly.
prickly. I was thinking that actually, a little peach fuzz that you would get in your thing. But anyway, that could be me sometimes too. I could be
There you
prickly.
go. There you go. Things haven't really slowed down in the real estate world here.
No,
have
not
they?
really, Bob. I mean, the houses that are priced well, presented well, ready to go, are going. I mean, they're on for a day, two, multiple offers. We'll call on the house, say, I got somebody who wants to see this. Well, I got an offer and some of them are taking backups. So things are still, I mean, it's the area we live in. This is where people want to be. Especially now, coming into summer, we're going to get the kids are getting out of school.
Mm-hmm.
They're out of school here, but they're getting out of school in other places. Parents are coming down. Different events that go on within the town, brings a lot of tourists here. And those tourists come, they spend money, they help all the local businesses when they're here. And even if they don't directly affect a business, that business gets helped by the money that's being spent at another business.
Mm-hmm.
They spend their money there. So people that are coming here, they go, this place is pretty nice. Beats that place where I'm at now. And, they'll start to investigate, how is the schools, how are the hospitals. And we've got three things that most towns, some towns 3 times their size don't have one of between them: the school system, the hospital, the library, the university.
Yeah, let's not talk about the lakes and the rivers. And
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's all, the bundle is here.
infrastructure.
Infrastructure, I mean, they come, there's no potholes. People think there's potholes, but go other places, there's no potholes. And,
Well, we have potholes. Other places have craters.
that could be it. Yeah, there isn't a lot of driving on the moon here,
Right.
and it happens. I've gone up to Illinois to see Mom, and as soon as you get over that bridge on 44 and you get into Illinois, and it's like what the? Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So people want to come, and they're online. They're looking. The pictures tell it. Picture tells 1,000 words, and they really do.
Are you seeing where people are buying secondary homes or primary residence?
We're seeing a lot of primaries now. Before, we were getting more vacationers, that would come and they were buying something that they could come and visit and thinking they could VRBO it, maybe when they're not in it. But we're seeing people that are coming here to live here. And that's a good thing. You're selling houses in Southern Meadows isn't the same as selling a house in Cotter on the river. Although people are buying those for themselves as well. Like those that are more the retirees that are going to move here, those they may spend a little bit more and be looking for something a little different than just a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, something with the kids. Or even if they have retired and they just want to be in the neighborhood, people looking to downsize a little bit, people that have been, we were in a home the other day and she just can't keep it up. Husband passed a little while ago, and the kids don't come to visit like they used to. And that's a pretty common thread that we run into. My brother doesn't come, my sister doesn't come, but cousins always said they'd be down here. Been here 20 years and none of them have come down, and that, it kind of stings a little bit for people. But the reality of that, once the spouse has passed, it's harder to keep the place up, So, and you take your memories with you, and you just need to find something that's more manageable for you, something, maybe a condo that you don't have to worry about cutting the grass, which isn't getting any easier either. Shoveling the snow, being able to go out. There's some benefits to that smaller property.
How about first-time home buyers?
They're in kind of a bad situation now, unless they've got, they need a good amount of money down. That kind of changes, depends on everybody's situation is different, and we talk about that a lot with the, being pre-approved. Because it's hard to find those houses that come up. There isn't a lot of shopping for them. A house that comes up at under 200 really doesn't last very long. I mean, unless it's just a total wreck. And some of those come up. but they're not looking to take on projects like that generally. They don't have the, they're still learning. They don't have that skill set from having that first home where you learn how to do things yourself and improve the property and build some equity in it and sell it and move on to the next one. That's always been the American way of how things got done. You started with the little home, fixed it up, made it better for the next guy, sold it, moved into your next home. Those homes that come up that are, like I say, 160, 170, 80, they don't last very long. They're gone.
The interest rates have creeped up, and we'll talk about where they're at today. It sounds like that's going to be the norm for a while.
Yeah, I think we're going to be right in this range here, in the sixes, mid sixes, high sixes right now. And I think that they'll probably, because they haven't really slowed down inflation at all.
No.
The job numbers are still good. I mean, there's everything that they were trying to stop isn't happening. So
Including home sales.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's a lot of that has to do with there's not a lot of supply out there. So they're building new homes in other places so that people, so then that kind of slows down the existing market a little bit. The homes that have been there for 20 years, they may not get as many looks as a new home because everybody wants a new shiny whatever it is.
You want the new dime.
Exactly. That's right.
Let's take a look at the interest rates right now.
I got this note from Chris Nassari, and it's his rate, so you can call him and he'll be happy to help you out. But for a conventional 30-year fixed rate with a 1% origination fee, the interest is 6.125. An FHA with the 1% origination fee is 5.87. That's pretty good. And the RD is also 5.87. A 15-year conventional loan is at 5.5% with the 1% down. VA is also at that 5.87. So all the FHA numbers, FHA, VA, rural, those are all the same, and they're all in that 5.87 with the 1% down. And those numbers change daily. Sometimes they'll change multiple times within a day. But you can give Chris a call. Where his office is over there on Cardinal and 62, and he'll be happy to help you out. Or go to your local banks, go to wherever it is you bank, and say, hey, what can you do for me? I've been a loyal customer for X amount of years. You got my checking account, my savings account, whatever it is you got, and say, what can you do for me? And shop it. Don't be afraid to shop it because it changes, different facilities on different days. Seems like they pick different numbers. So places that we hadn't really used, we had some clients that came in and went to a different bank, and like I said, that we really hadn't used, and was like, well, okay, great. As long as they can do that, let's go.
Sure.
So, but be pre-approved.
I was just going to say, pre-approval is still key.
Yeah, it is. And when you, to plug Chris or not, but when you walk out of Nassari, you walk out with the golden ticket. You know what you can do, and that's the important part of this. That not just to be like pre-approved. Well, I make this much money. I make this. They check and everything is done. So you're right. That's it. It's for you. It's not just for them. It's for you, so that you know what you can do and what you can't do.
It gives you a good sense of buying power.
Exactly. And because we don't want to see people being so home broke that they can't afford to go out. They can't afford to take. They can't afford to go to Branson because they're so tight on the budget because of the house. You don't want to do that. Be careful with the adjustable rates. That's always going to be a Bob thing because of what we saw in 08 and 09.
Yeah, just flat out stay away from it.
Yeah, well, that's my opinion. But for some people that know that they're only going to be in a house for a short period of time, they know that they've got a job here for a little while, or they know that their child's going to graduate within a 3-year period. So it may be worth it to take a 5 because you're not going to be in a house that long, but you just don't know what the market's going to be in that 5 years. And the other thing is, these reverse mortgages, please, if you have one, check and make sure that you've been making payments on it. See how much you owe on it. Make sure you know where you're at with that. We've had several very bad experiences with people who took out not really big loans, but they never made a payment on,
and
it just turns into a ginormous loan. I mean, I get a woman who can't leave because she sells the house, she will have no money to go anyplace else. She wants to go. House is too big. She's living there.
She's stuck.
So have an idea of where the money is going. You know, that's really
We
an
better
important
look at
thing.
some numbers.
We can do that, I think. Where'd I go? No, I can't. Come back here.
Scooter's talking to himself.
Come on. There we go. This week in real estate. There were 37 new listings came on the market, 2 commercial properties, 9 parcels of land, 26 homes came on the market. The average price coming on the market was $334,000. There were a number of big houses that came on. There were 38 sales, 9 parcels of land, 29 homes sold. They ranged in price from $94,000 to $405,000, with an average sale price of $217,000, with 67 days on market. Total of $6.3 million in residential real estate closed this week. 5 properties expired, 24 had price changes. Currently, we got about 233 homes are on the MLS. Year to date, there's 375 homes have sold for $82 million. Average sale price of $219 with 92 days on market. Last year, there had been 486 homes that sold for $107 million. Average sale price was $220 with 88 days on market. So the time frame is really short compared to where we've been before. The number of homes is really small compared to where we've been before. You know, it's not unusual to be at 600-700 houses. And that's not just like here in Mount Homer or Baxter. That's Baxter, Marion. It's from, if you can see me, you're probably in our MLS. I mean, that's from southern Missouri all the way down to Marshall to a big degree. So market is moving. It's still moving here. It's a good thing. You know, we're blessed to be able to do that. It's a matter of people wanting to sell here, you know, to list a property, because life happens. Life happens for people that are coming here. Life happens for people that are leaving, you know, whether it's family issues, maybe a loved one that needs care in another area, kids graduating from school and not needing as much home. Sickness, death happens, and, you know, life occurrences are there. We're not finding a lot of people that are moving just to move. You know, where they're going to leave Southern Meadows to go to Indian Creek, because with the interest rates, it's stopped that, because somebody who's got a 3, 4, or even a 5% doesn't want to take on a 6.5 or 6 3/4. So exceptions are going to, you know, there's always going to be exceptions to that. You know, babies. Yet there's just flat isn't enough room for us in this place anymore. We got to find something closer, but I got a job at the hospital. I need to stay here. So, and those are all things that we take into consider, all things we help people with, all things with too much stuff. We're helping a couple move back to Chicago right now, and they had a lot of stuff. And we helped them cull the herd a little bit, and some of the stuff they're going to take with them, okay. You know.
The fact that you just said that you don't see a lot of people moving from one part of town to the other, but it still happens because some may have lost a loved one and they want to downsize. So they're moving out of the big house at Southern Meadows and moving into a smaller home.
Yeah.
Or moving out of North Point, moving into a smaller home at Indian Creek. That does happen. There's some new houses being built in Indian Creek right now. Our market is just unique.
Yes, sir.
Because there's still a lot of people moving in and a lot of people moving around.
Yeah, and a lot of the builders got burned in '08, you know, so you don't see a lot of spec houses that you may have seen before. There's a couple of condos in Big Creek that are that way, but you're not going to see a guy build a $400,000 house and just kind of hope and pray that somebody's going to come by and get it, because it's expensive. You're making that note every month.
Yeah. How'd they get you?
Call my Linda. She's at 870-405-0793. The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. But the best thing you can do, truly, call Linda, because she keeps the plates spinning and does all the back of the house stuff that needs to get done. Again, 870-405-0793.
Any local events that y'all are going to be at coming up?
I'm sure.
There's
always. I know there will be a red, white, and blue. I know that I'll be, because I'm going to work with the chamber. I'm going to work the run, the 5K in the morning, and the symphony on Friday night.
Well, there you go.
It's kind of a cool thing. You should get somebody here for that.
The symphony.
Yeah,
we've had them here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been watching This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora, Century 21 Lemac Realty, the Z Team, 870-405-0793, retiredtoarkansas.net. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Friday Sports. See you then.